Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Retro, and today's a bittersweet day for pro wrestling fans, especially John Cena fans of all ages, such as myself. I've been a huge wrestling fan since late 2005, early 2006, and I've seen so many different matches, so many different characters, so many different storylines play out over the years. And, pro wrestling is just a fun thing to watch, and it's just really good. As most of you know, today will be John Cena's final appearance as a WWE superstar and in-ring performer. And so I couldn't think of a better topic for my first pro wrestling video on the channel than talking about John Cena's, in my opinion, best top five feuds that I have seen him have in his career. Let's get started. So coming in at number five, we have JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield. In 2005, JBL was one of the top heels on SmackDown. He held the title for about 10 months and he was just his J.R. Ewing type of persona and was a really underhanded heel and just did everything he could to keep that championship. And then meanwhile, in 2005, John Cena was the winner of the tournament at No Way Out, beating Kurt Angle and just ultimately securing his spot as the number one contender for the WWE Championship. And so, fast forward at WrestleMania 21, giving us one of the best co main events that WrestleMania has had at the time. John Cena beats JBL and just ultimately proves that, hey, I can beat you and you are nothing, and that, I'm the new champ. The champ is here. And so I feel like this rivalry really showed potential that John can have as a big star. He was getting over with the fans a little bit. He was so entertaining, and just a lot of people did not like JBL. And just ultimately, the company said, "Hey, let's go ahead and give this guy a shot." And boy, did he roll with it. So number five, JBL, good rivalry, really a lot of good moments and good rivalry. So coming in number four, AJ Styles. In 2016, AJ Styles took the WWE by storm by entering the Royal Rumble in 2016, and then just tore it up. No one thought they would ever see AJ Styles in a WWE ring, but of course, thanks to the internet, word gets around. And at the time, AJ Styles, well, actually, not at the time, but we all know AJ Styles is the face of TNA, right? So you have a guy coming in from another company and just taking this one by storm, and AJ Styles did that for WWE. AJ Styles, watching him wrestle is just so awesome, phenomenally awesome. He just got that spiral tap, the Styles Clash, phenomenal forearms, shooting star press, all these different moves that he can do. But anyway, moving on. The rivalry between John Cena and AJ Styles to me was just having a imaginary type of match actually happening in our lifetime. You had two guys from two different companies that ultimately were at the top, and just we just had to see who was the best. And here comes 2017 Royal Rumble, where John Cena beats AJ Styles, securing his 16 World Championship and just ultimately tying Ric Flair for that record. What a great rivalry. Being able to see two different guys just go at it and just ultimately good rivalry. Lots of fun to watch. Coming in at number three, Batista. Batista in 2010 and John Cena. So their careers were so equally similar. Both main evented WrestleMania 21, both won the championships at WrestleMania 21. And at the time, Batista, I think the way it was written in storyline is that Batista was very angry at John Cena. And I actually think that some of it did come from outside the ring. But anyway, so they basically in storyline, Batista was very jealous of John because he knew that he was so popular than him and that he was he had the fans behind him. He had all these different good things going for him, and Batista just had that jealous rage, and so he goes heel in late 2009, and just fast forward to the Elimination Chamber in 2010, and just beats down John Cena after the Elimination Chamber and takes that championship from him. And so fast forward WrestleMania 26. At WrestleMania 26, John Cena versus Batista. It was a good match, but that did not end it there. I can't remember specifically which pay per view this was, but that did not end the rivalry in WrestleMania 26. Fast forward to this pay per view. I can't remember which one, so forgive me for that. But the last man standing match where Batista gets duct taped to the ring post, which honestly was pretty freaking funny because I don't think anyone had done that at the time. And John ends up retaining his championship in that way. And then fast forward to I believe it's Over the Limit in 2010, the I Quit match between John and Batista, where John Cena beats Batista by AAing him, making him say I quit, but also AAing him through the stage. I mean, dude, that was actually really freaking cool. Because I think it was probably the first time in a long time I saw somebody go through the stage, and it was just dude, that sucked. But yeah, that ended the rivalry, and just it was just really well done. I think that Batista and John, they were the best at, like I said, in 2005 and 2006, they ran their respective brands. They were champions, and I think that WWE just had to see who truly is the best. I know I wanted to see it, so definitely number three, Batista, John Cena, good rivalry. Coming in number two, 2011, CM Punk. The CM Punk, the Summer of Punk, was one of the most entertaining times for WWE. CM Punk at the time, I mean, he was the rebel, right? He was basically almost the Stone Cold of the time, where he was basically feuding with Triple H and just being that, that rebel against authority figure that that fans really like. And so basically, uh, these two, John and CM Punk, were feuding a little bit over the championship. But what ended up happening is CM Punk's contract was expiring in 2011, and so basically John Cena and CM Punk had to duke it out at Money in the Bank. And then CM Punk was so dead set on taking that championship that basically what ended up happening is that he wins, beats John Cena, and his contract expires, taking that championship with him. And honestly, at the time, because I was so invested as a fan, like I was so invested, I didn't think John was going to lose. And he ended up losing. So I was like, oh man, like this really sucks. But they always come back, I guess you can say. But anyway, like it was just a really good rivalry. I think CM Punk and John, they really they had some good matches. The promos were very well done as well, and it was just a good rivalry. One of my favorites for sure. And coming in at number one, Edge, aka Adam Copeland, aka Cope. Edge and John Cena in 2006. Man, what a banger. So, this rivalry to me is very special. Like I said, I started watching in 2006, right whenever this was happening. At the time, Edge was Mr. Money in the Bank. He was the first holder, the first one to cash in, and he held on to that briefcase for a long period of time until New Year's Revolution in 2006. And what ended up happening, John went through the Elimination Chamber, busted, bruised, you name it, he went through it. Gets cashed in on. Edge takes the championship, and then John has to wrestle him and ultimately do his best to get it back. And he did. But that's not the crown jewel of this rivalry. What this rivalry was about was so good that it was just so well done. You had Edge, who was the most hated person in WWE at the time. I mean, dude, I did not like this guy, and I think most fans didn't either at the time. I mean, it was just really fun to watch on TV. But man, so fast forward in Unforgiven, 2006, the TLC match, Toronto, Canada, Edge's home turf, John Cena in the house that Edge essentially lives in. And so basically, it's a good match. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it. It's very good. So many good spots. I mean, Edge goes through tables, John goes through tables, Lita getting involved. And, just ultimately a good rivalry, and honestly, the crown jewel of the rivalry, where John AA's Edge through two tables. That's right, two tables, and securing that championship once again, ending the rivalry. And honestly, I think these two, as rivals, just complement each other so well. I mean, John was, in his prime, essentially, or about to be in his prime, if you will. It was so good, and I'm just so thankful that I got to watch that rivalry, and I'm so glad that that rivalry was just a lot of fun to watch as a young fan, and just being there was a lot of fun. Which leads us to tonight, John Cena's final match, Gunther, Saturday night's main event, December 13th, 2025. John's had such a great career as a performer, and just he's basically just carried this company on his back for so many years, and I'm just so thankful that I've gotten to watch his career. And just so many good matches, so many good storytelling aspects in his career. I really hope John wins this match. I know Gunther, he's fast, he's good. He won't be easy, but I'm sure that John will win. I'm pretty sure that's where they're going here. And I know that he's going to retire on a good note, I'm sure. And I just can't wait to see it. I hope everyone else gets to see it. And that will do it for this video. I appreciate everyone stopping by. If you guys like what y'all have seen, if you like the video, and also subscribe. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be posting more videos, more to come. Uh, Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Also, I'll be putting my Twitch in the description. I do play some video games and I do stream a little bit. And also follow me on Instagram. And appreciate it. And thank you so much. Have a nice day.